Hi, my name is Lillian Leroy, and this is my last semester at Citrus. I'll be graduating with an associate's degree in physics and mathematics, and then transferring to Cal Poly Pomona for a bachelor's in electrical engineering. So, I was first introduced to the field of electrical engineering in the audio engineering program I was in, and there was an electronics lab, and I realized I liked that part of the class way more than anything else I was learning. So then I switched my major to physics, and then was introduced to the independent research class through Professor Ritter. Um, it's funny because I was thinking of purchasing an Arduino, and when you join the class, you're given your own Arduino kit, the handbook, which is pretty helpful, and then also a bunch of different components that you would find useful. So for me, it was perfect. I was really curious, and I had a lot of projects in mind that I wanted to test out, but just didn't have the equipment for, and I found it very beneficial. So I was having a lot of fun in the beginning, just doing the small breadboard projects and learning more and learning about the different things I could build. And when spring ended, I was able to do the NASA California Space Grant Consortium internship with our class. And then for that project, I worked in a group and we made a robotic arm. And I did all of the electrical stuff on it. So like building like the power bus and then making the whole circuit for how it would work. So that was a lot of fun because it was a group project, so we were able to do something a little bit larger than something you would have done on your own. What I found really useful in this class was that I'm able to test out different areas of electrical engineering. And then the next one I did in fall was with the Women in Engineering program. And it was a quadcopter that has a LiDAR sensor attached to it, and it basically generates a topographical map as it flies around. Sometime in between fall, I was given the opportunity to do my own independent research and to write a paper and publish it at the end of the semester. That's what I'm currently working on. So I brainstormed a bunch of ideas and then I broke down my interests basically into two categories, which was robotics and then Internet of Things. My top three was the solar panel project I did and that I'm currently finishing up my paper on. And then a system that would monitor events, so like earthquakes or landslides, or like a wearable device. So I went with the solar panel one, and I programmed everything with an Arduino Uno, and gathered my data, and I'm just writing the paper. So the data was collected using a current and voltage sensor, and also a light intensity sensor. And so I had everything go through the Arduino Uno, and then instead of using the serial output and copy and pasting my data, I just had it logged into a CSV file so that I was able to generate graphs in Excel. There is also the research, so a correlation between mechanical cleaning and damage introduced. So this can inform future projects on choosing the brush or brush speed differently to see the effects of that, or also further developing the electrostatic method since it avoids mechanical cleaning altogether. So some challenges I came across was like hardware compatibility issues. I actually came up with the design of the mount with the help of my dad, and we have some tools at home like a drill press and other things, so we were able to design something that would let the solar panel lay flush with the rail in a way that I wanted it to. And same for the linear rail system itself, I was just missing a set of nuts. As far as the circuitry, I initially wasn't getting sensor readings from my current and voltage sensor, and that's because it didn't have a load. So I had to look into it, and then once I found that out, I ordered the load resistor and then was able to gather data fine. If you're interested in research, I think it's a good opportunity because you get exposure to the writing process. I would say the most surprising part for me was the lit review. I didn't know what a lit review was prior. And I think it's good practice to learn how to read the literature and then also write about it and then form your own question and then present it to others. I think it's a good skill to have even if you don't go on to do further research. I also think another valuable thing that you gain from this class is like the hands-on learning. So if you're someone who enjoys physically making projects and like seeing your ideas become a reality, like tangible, I think that this would be like you really enjoy it. But overall, I think that if you're someone who's very curious or very eager to learn, or if you have a lot of ideas, or say if you have a lot of interests, it can help you narrow down your interests. So when you transfer and you have to do capstone projects, or if you want to do other projects so you can show during like interviews and stuff like that, I think this class would benefit you. You can really make of the class whatever you want of it. So if you want to try doing something that you haven't done before, like me with the solar panel project, I think that you'd really like this class because you're given the kind of the freedom to choose what you want your project to be, so long as it's feasible and like within a reasonable budget. But yeah, if you have any questions, I'm available to answer any questions. So you can always ask Professor Ritter. She can send you or like forward your emails to me, and like I'll be happy to answer any questions. But thank you so much for listening.